started here. We'll open up for questions, and let's begin with Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Michael. The other day, Nikola was saying that Game 7 is just another game. Obviously, he tends to undersell things. What are your guys' emotions? What is the excitement level going into tonight?
Yeah, I think we have a really relaxed group. And I think the reason for that is we've been to 4 rounds of the playoffs in 2 years, and each one has gone to a 7th game. So this is very familiar territory for us, something that we're used to. And this year, obviously, we've been down 3-1 in both the Utah and now the Clippers series. And I think we knew going into this that, understandably so, the Clippers were the odds-on favorite. They're a terrific team, got a lot of talent, and they have built this team to win now. So we've never looked at it like putting any pressure on ourselves. So I think the emotions of our team right now are excited, calm, and looking forward to another opportunity to go out there and try and win another elimination game, which would be our 6th in a row.
All right, next we'll go to Pat Graham. Pat, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
How are you?
Good, thanks. Doc Rivers was just saying great preparation gives you great freedom. I guess my question to you would be, how do you know when they're prepared? What do you look for?
What's the question?
How do you know when they're prepared? How do you know this team is ready to go? What kind of signs do you know you're like, okay, these guys are ready?
When we get down by 16 points in the 3rd quarter, I know we're ready. No, for us, it's, we've prepared the same way for 5 years. But when I see our guys to start the game come out with energy, you go back to earlier in this series. The series is such a long one. Game 1, we were still probably hung over from the euphoria of coming back and being the 12th team in NBA history to respond to a 3-1 deficit. And we had no energy. Game 2, 44 points in that 1st quarter. You could see the difference in our approach, the energy, how we were moving, the ball movement. Then even the last couple of games when we've gotten down, last game with around 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter, it was a 2-point game. And they closed on a 16-2 run to build that lead. But for most of the first half, we were up and right there. So I just look for the body language, the energy, and guys playing for each other. Those are probably the biggest things.
All right, next we'll go to Dan Wojcicki, who is there. Dan, go ahead.
When you mentioned kind of you're ready when you're down 16. How have you evaluated these last 2 games with all that has gone right and then all that has gone wrong? Has that been an interesting sort of juggle and self-evaluation?
I don't think so, because I think it's pretty obvious in terms of why we've gotten down and how we've gotten ourselves out of that hole. Last game in particular, the transition defense was a huge point of concern. And a lot of that in that first half were our turnovers. We fueled their break. We turned the ball over at a high level. That's what fueled their 16-2 run. We had 5 turnovers during that stretch. And when they've been able to get out and score in transition, we haven't had many answers. When we forced them to play in the half court, our defense has been great. So I would say 16-point deficit at halftime gets to 19 in the 3rd. Well, what's the difference? Well, then our second half defense was phenomenal. We took care of the basketball. Now we could get stops, rebounds, turnovers, and get out and run and play very aggressively and play in attack mode. Very similar to the first round. In the first 4 games against Utah, we didn't defend anybody. And people want to say, well, we won that series because Jamal's 50, 40, whatever. We won that series because in game 5, 6, and 7, our defense was phenomenal. And it's been the same thing here. That it's been 3 games in a row against the Clippers where our defense has carried the day. Thank goodness in game 5 and 6, our offense also showed up.
All right, next we'll go to Harrison Wind. Harrison, go ahead.
Hey, Michael, you guys have had chances to cash in a lot of your chips, make trades, other moves like a lot of teams have done over the last few years. The fact that you didn't and have kept this core together and didn't skip those steps, do you think getting to this point with this group just makes it any sweeter?
Yeah, we have stayed true to our plan, and that's one thing I love about working with the Denver Nuggets is that myself, Tim Conley, Josh Kroenke, we've always been lockstep in terms of our vision. And I mentioned the other day in my Zoom call, I think the advantage I have, the luxury I have as a head coach, is a very patient ownership group who is not going to mortgage our future and look to make wholesale changes to get to where they want to go. They understand that it is a process, and they bought into that. But I think we're in a unique position, Harrison, because I don't know how many of the 29 other NBA teams have a head coach, a team president, and an owner that are really truly aligned in all areas of the organization moving forward. And you don't allow the immediate disappointment of a loss to a Minnesota in a game 82 to take you off of that. You can take the emotions out of it and say, we are heading in the right direction. So I feel really blessed to be in this situation and to work with great people who are not only good at their jobs, but also great to work with.
All right, we have time for one more here, and we'll end with Kyle Goon, who is there. Kyle, go ahead.
Hey, kind of silly question, but
No
Doc,
such thing.
well, wait. Doc and his coaching staff are wearing salmon-colored polos today. It's been pointed out that they have a very good record in these salmon-colored polos in the bubble. Obviously, I think we all understand that what's going to happen on the court will be decided by the players and how they play, but do you look for any superstitious edges, you or your coaching staff?
Well, we'll be wearing Johnny Cash all black once again. So I have a feeling that our all black record is better than their salmon record. So we'll put it to the test. This is going to come down to not the play. It's going to come down to black Johnny Cash versus salmon. And I don't have any salmon in my wardrobe. I may have to pick some up after these playoffs. But I think coaches, I worked with coaches who knew the record of the ties they wore. When I was coaching in college, I knew coaches that would keep the record of a certain bus driver. And they would say, that guy can never drive our team bus again. So, yes, we are a weird group. We will look for any advantage necessary. Even as you mentioned, once that jump ball goes up, it doesn't matter what we're wearing. But, yeah, Johnny Cash lives with the Denver Nuggets. So we're rooting for Johnny's favorite.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you.